Hey y'all, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. We're going to do something totally different that I've never done before. We're going to do a quick succession of readings, and they're going to be love focused. I never do that. I never do that. So I thought that that would be, actually it just sounded like something fun to do, so we're going to do it. I also thought it would be a great opportunity, since I've got you all here together in one video, to say a couple things. One is for whoever goes through and scrubs out the comments for me, and very much thank you for getting those sex bots and the really negative, vicious stuff out of there before I do end up seeing it, but before anybody else sees it. So, so thank you for that. And also thank you for the tips. I've received some lovely tips lately and I really appreciate that. That's very fun. And I feel very appreciated when that happens. So I think that's cool. If you're not tipping, that's totally fine too, right? So, and also thank you guys for supporting my Vimeo experiment over the past 2 weeks. I appreciate that as well. So, so for something fun, we're going to start off with these love readings. I also wanted to say, I'm so curious as to why they are like the most popular type of readings to purchase. Why people, I mean, I think, and I have my theories. I think one of the theories is that we have a lot of suppression around our emotions, around sexuality. So we don't want to get hurt. We don't want to look like an idiot. We don't want to put ourselves out there and experience rejection. So I think that this remains sort of a cloudy enterprise, trying to figure out how other people feel, what's going to happen, much more so than most of us experience with career or even family situations. It's like, oh, that stuff just plays itself out. This, though, this has the intrigue. What is going on here? We have so much of our self tied up in it, and so much of our self-perception tied up in it, and so much fear and unknown. That's my theory. But if you have another theory as to why love readings are the most popular, please put it down in the comments. I'm fascinated by this. So, all right. So I have made a ridiculous dual deck here, and it's very difficult to shuffle, but we're going to try. It's not shuffling very easily, but we'll try. All right. I'm going to take 3 cards. Talking about September. This is for September. September love for Aries. I'm going to cut the deck. I'm going to take 1 card off the top. Maybe I'll change that up later. I don't know. All right, Aries, September. We have 10 of inspiration, the end of something. It's been a long journey. It's been difficult. You maybe have been in service to somebody else, to someone else's ideas, what someone else wanted, but that's not going to be the case going forward. You're going to relieve yourself of some kind of obligation. This can be other people's expectations. This can be other people's hopes, it can be cultural expectations. It can be labels. It can be anything that just kind of wasn't even your idea, and anything that's been a little bit difficult or hard to do, and it has to do with somebody else's ideas of what you should be doing. It has a lot to do with the shoulds. So that situation is going to be winding down and coming to an end in September. We have then 4 voices. We have some sort of rest period, a time out, on a break. We're on a break. It's Ross and Rachel on a break here, and the purpose is for rejuvenation, refocusing. A time out here. There's going to be a timeout. So you're letting go of something from the past, or you're letting go of something's kind of winding down, and you might just decide to take a break, take some time out, go on a break from somebody, take a vacation solo if you're with somebody already, or just kind of chill out and take a break from something, because something's been a little bit like an obligation, and you're going to take a break from some sort of obligation here. And then we have the Priestess card. What can be known, what can be not be known. This is, to me, the Priestess represents the tarot. And this is about not knowing the outcome. You don't know. When you go out for nap time, when you go for, I'm all excited, but like this reading's actually a little bit serious. When you go out for nap time, when you take your break, when you go on a break here and kind of release yourself from something that's been a little bit difficult, not really a lot of like maybe obligation or shoulds. When you release yourself of that and you go on this break, you don't really actually know what's going to happen when you come back. If you're coming back, there's a lot of unknown here, and it's going to remain unknown because the decisions that the priestess or that the tarot wants you to make, you need to make them. So there's going to be there's an unknown outcome here, a break. Oh yeah, and that's right. Take what works, leave what doesn't, especially with these readings, right? So if this isn't resonating for you, don't worry about it. Check your other major placements, especially your Venus placement, I would think, in this type of reading. So, so the priestess here, what can be known, what can't be known. There's some unknown, some hidden features coming up here, and they can be good and they can be bad. I think you're going to go on a break and take a break and just not really know what's going to happen when you come back. Not really have, there's a lot of uncertainty. The future is very uncertain for this connection. I mean, part of it's been a bit of an obligation, or there might have been like, you might have had a lot of obligations, or you might have a lot of obligations coming up. They're temporary. The 10 of Inspiration reminds me that something comes to an end. Something's temporary. And then there's this rest period and a break, and then who knows what happens after that. It's just unknown, and you're not meant to really know. You got to just take it step by step and have faith in yourself, have faith in your belief systems or your spirituality of choice, what resonates with you. Having faith in that. There'll be things that with this break, there'll be things that you'll see and you'll understand more clearly, and then there will be things that you'll never really understand, or you are still going to remain hidden. You know, September, not all will be revealed apparently here for this connection. So that's what we've got there. Moving on to dear Taurus. Oh my goodness. Okay. This may have been a silly idea to combine these decks here, but that's what we've got. Oh my gosh, hold on. We're making a little bit of a tower here. It's going to remain disorganized simply because that's what we've got. So I'm going to cut this deck, this mess deck here 3 times. September for Taurus. That is sloppy. Oh my God. Oh my God, what a mess. All right, Taurus, what does September have for you? Oh, memories, hopes, and a lot on your plate, a lot to handle. So for September, your connection, your love connection in September, we have 6 of emotions. So we have fond memories, something from the past that brought you a lot of joy, maybe even some childhood memories here, a connection from the past. Really on your mind, thinking about that, thinking about past happiness and joy, and that connection. And you also have the white rose of hope. You're very much hoping for something. So I see you very much in your feelings and your emotions and your head here. I mean, not necessarily your head, but there's a lot of deep feeling, and it has to do with the past and the future. There's something from your past that you're deeply connected to, that you deeply love, and there's something from in the future here that you're hoping for, just almost secretly. I don't think you really want to talk about it or really be very explicit about what that hope is, but you hold something very close to your chest. And there's an innocence here. The hope for the future is, I think, related to what you've already experienced in the past. There's something that you're hoping will come back around perhaps for the future. There's an emotion back there that you're looking forward to feeling again. There's something that's what these memories and stuff from the past, these connections from the past can do for us. Even if they don't come back in the exact same person, in the exact same form, we hope that we get to have that experience again and feel those emotions and those again. There is, in this 6 of emotions, there's definitely a sense of longing and a sense of, a sense of longing for the past, a sense of a wistfulness, a nostalgia, almost a sad nostalgia, and we're still very hopeful for the future. So, and then we have Two of Materials. This may or may not be about love. This can just be a lot on your plate. You've got a lot to juggle. You're going to be able to handle it, but you do have a lot to juggle. You could have two relationships you're juggling. You could be juggling the past and the future. You could just be like working hard. As Pentacles, it's reality. There's a lot going on in your reality that might be a little bit difficult to handle. But I do see maybe you're sort of straining to maintain your equilibrium as you stand between this longing for the past and this hope for the future. Yeah, longing for there's a connection from your past. You're hoping to see it again in the future. And right now there's just this, yeah, a little bit of a struggle to maintain equilibrium, a struggle to maintain your balance in this. But I think it's really interesting because we have this white rose of hope in the future, and you are juggling roses. So there's a lot of roses here. There's one in the future, and then there might be two options in reality right now, but neither of them might be satisfying the memory that you have, the feelings that you've had before in the past. And they might not be like actually what you want in the future, what you're actually hoping for. But there's two, your reality is a little bit intense to juggle right now for September. And finding balance and equilibrium in your connections, in your love. I don't honestly see like a strong connection here. There might be possibilities in your current situation, but none of them are what you want, or you've felt more for other people in the past than you do for these ones. So if there is anybody in your present, they just don't, they're not hitting that note that you know can be hit. That can be hit, and you're hoping to see that again in your future. All right, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pop these babies in randomly, and then maybe I'll shuffle a little bit like this. Okay, well, we've got one for, oh, okay, well, that was interesting. All right, Gemini, you get some extra here. Okay, Gemini, September, we have Two of Inspiration here. So, okay, wait, I want to do it in a different way. So we have a person. We have our first person of the month showing up here. These court cards look to me like playing, not playing cards, but like baseball cards. Like here we have our first character. We have our first player on the field. This player is the Page of Materials. So we've got a rookie here. Creating something in reality. They've got a vision, they've got a dream, and they've got to figure out how to make it happen. So we've got someone who's inexperienced, young, new to the game here. They've got some sort of dream, some sort of idea of what they do want, of what they want to see in reality, of what they want to make. They want to make something, this is a relationship reading, so this is someone who really actually wants a relationship in real life. They may not have a lot of experience with relationships. They may be a little bit younger. They're trying something new to them. This may be a different type of relationship for them. It's totally new to them. And then for the major arcana here, we have the Death card. So there's something that's ending here, and it creates an opening for a new beginning. But the focus is more on something ending, which is interesting because these other, there's something really fascinating here with this reading, because we have the rookie, we have the newbie here that wants to make something actually happen, but isn't quite sure how to go about it, has a lot to learn. We have also, for you, dear Gemini, this Four of Inspiration, our 1111 card, our engagement card. It is a leveling up. So it is almost like this person would like to, like we've gone through some sort of probationary period or, dating period. And even if we might not be getting engaged, we want to take something to the next level. If we're engaged, we might want to get married. And we want to take something to the next level. And somebody here wants to take something to the next level, but they don't necessarily know what that entails, what that's involved. And then we have Two of Inspiration here. So we have something that we want, but this is basically my spreadsheet card. There's like a spreadsheet here. we're inspired. There's a vision. There's a vision for the future, which we're also seeing here, commitment to the future. And now we have a vision to the future. And now there's a lot of planning involved. There's a lot of trying to figure out the nuts and bolts and the details going on here. So what it could look like is that somebody's getting engaged and you have to learn how to plan a wedding, or something similar to that. If you don't see that coming, do not sit around expecting that for all of September. But there is a sense of needing to plan, making a commitment to the next level, planning for the next level, and making something happen in reality. So this could be, you know, moving in together. This could be, and maybe one of you's never lived with somebody before, or never like had this type of move before, or planning a wedding. No one's planned a wedding before. And there's a sense of having to figure something out. So we've got two very practical cards of being at the beginning of a process and not knowing quite what you're doing, and having to figure out some details of something, some technical issues. But we do have a relationship sort of leveling up, heading up to the next level, but it's going to create some technical issues that we don't quite know exactly what to do with. And then we have the Death card here. So major transformation, something's ending and something's beginning. So it doesn't necessarily have to be scary, but it is a big transformation, and there could be some scary aspects to it as we leave like the room of singleness to enter the room of coupleness. There's a threshold there, and that threshold's going to get crossed. Or I know it can almost see like somebody, you know, just getting married and carrying someone across the threshold. There is a threshold moment here, and it could be this Four of Inspiration, this leveling up. So I see two cards of having to figure something out. Somebody's maybe a little overwhelmed with the nuts and bolts and details of a process, and then two cards of something transforming. And this is saying it's a leveling up, but it is a transformation of the relationship to a different level here. All right, so that's Gemini. And let's move on to Cancer. Okay, I'm going to pop these in here. No, I'm not, because I can't. All right, Cancer. What do we have here? A lot of choices. Oh, this is, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's put these back. We have Three of Voices. There's something sort of heartbreaking coming in for September, possibly some words being spoken, a message being received. That's actually a little bit sad, a little bit heartbreaking for you. So there's some grief here. It comes in pretty quick. The Three of Voices isn't like, it's not necessarily the end of a long-term relationship. It's not necessarily the end of something, of a big long cycle. It's just, and it's not even the end of a relationship. It's just some heartbreak, heartbreaking words, heartbreaking news, some sort of sense of pain. A door is closed. You know, you find out that your crush is actually dating somebody else. So it's not a permanent, you know, it's not like your spouse, if you are married or in a long-term relationship, somebody may have some cruel words to say. You might find out something that's kind of hurtful, and you're going to want to go cry by yourself and have a little bit of a pity party here. There is a lot, though, of these sort of piercing swords, divine light here. See these triangular things. So in a way, I feel like there's a breaking apart. There's something that comes in and pierces you, but then there's also like this healing energy. Yeah, it's like these sunbeams. First, the sunbeam hurts. It's like the truth will set you free is what I'm seeing with these. There's the sun. We have the sun card in here. It can be a little overly bright, but there's a lot of clarity coming in. It looks like this clarity might be a little bit painful to receive, a little bit difficult to receive, but you're getting clarity, clear messages. Because it looks like maybe this is a Seven of Emotions. This is confusing, emotionally feeling overwhelmed by something. There might be something coming in here that's painful and emotionally overwhelming, or you may have been confused about something, and when you get clarity on it, it's not fun. It doesn't feel good. Like, we love clarity. Clarity feels good. The truth will set you free kind of idea, but first it's going to wreak a lot of havoc and be kind of painful. So, so I'm getting two different types of messages here. One is that you've been confused about something, you get the clarity sucks and is painful to receive, but at least now you've got truth and you've got clarity and you can move on. I also see another possible scenario here of truth being revealed. It's painful and you've got a lot to figure out. It leaves you in sort of a situation where you have to figure some things out, and you don't quite know how to handle it. You don't quite know how to handle the truth here coming in. It's very painful, but it does bring clarity, and you're not quite sure how to respond or how to react. I mean, we've got our internal private reaction going on here, but we've also got like, well, now what? Now what do I do? And what do I do with this information? And then we have 7 of inspiration here. We have 2 7s, which I like. That always seems very lucky to me. But 7 of inspiration, we have holding space for something that you want. So you may have been holding out for something, and then that option actually isn't available. That's painful for you to deal with, but now you have a bunch of other options. Or yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. Like it's almost like you were holding out for somebody and then they went and found somebody else, or you were waiting for somebody or something. You were waiting for your moment, and then when you get it, it's like all been like confusing. So there's been like some sort of like wanting something, standing up for it, making space, holding out for it, and not getting it, and getting very confused about what to do with it. But I can also see you having to make choices, making some guesses. Like 7 of emotions always looks to me like you're guessing at what might make you happiest. Like not quite sure what's going to make you happy, especially if something else is off the table. But making space and making room, maybe for this process, this decision-making process. Holding and just saying like, I'm not going to give you an answer right now because I need to, like, I have to figure stuff out now. This information was hurtful. It brought in a lot of clarity though. And now I have stuff I have to figure out, and I'm going to make space for what I want and what I need. That's what I'm seeing there. All right, dear Leo. What's your September love story? Okay. Huh. None of my other cards are coming out. I guess it's just a difference in size and shape. Okay. Ooh, we've got more characters showing up here. We've got 2 characters. Now, male or female, but these are going to be like our baseball cards. These are the players. We've got Knight of Emotions. Very strong player. Very brave, very bold, very brash. This is a risk taker. They always steal the bases. They take risks. There's someone here taking an emotional risk. Now, usually we can talk about the Knight of Emotions as a communication, someone, you or somebody else, communicating some sort of love offering, but it could be communicating any kind of feeling, any kind of emotion. But I do feel like it's a love offering. It's very strong, very powerful, and it goes somewhere really, really well. So we have also Muse of Inspiration. So this is going to be our king, our master. This person isn't like barely in touch with something. They're not fumbling around. They're not trying to communicate whatever. This is someone who is very, well, they could be very in touch with their sexuality, very sexual, and very, and it could be, I guess, be the same person as this Knight of Emotions. There's someone here. This is exciting, Leo. Oh my goodness. There's somebody here, and it could be you, it could be somebody else, who's very much in touch with their intuition, and they're ready to move pretty quickly on that. They have gotten it. They understand something. They see something. They're able to take a leadership role. So both this Knight coming in with a communication, it's leadership. Someone's taking action to change a dynamic in a relationship. There is communication about deeply held emotions, and there's also inspiration. This king can be this muse, people tend to follow them. They might be someone in a leadership position. People tend to follow them because they're just very inspiring. They have a lot of really good energy they bring. That's almost their signature, is their energy. They bring really good energy to a situation, and they guide through intuition, and they lead through intuition. So, and it could be someone very creative, very successful in the creative fields, highly intuitive. And it can be male or female, of course. This deck uses this muse as a gender neutral term for the king here. They maybe have been just waiting for their opportunity, waiting for the opportunity to say something, waiting for inspiration to strike. Watching for the moment. It's almost like crossing a finish line or something. Like, they're the ones that determine, I guess, or I want to say, like, understand when something has reached the point it needs to reach. I see like a race being won, and this muse of inspiration as being like the crossing the finish line, but they're not the one crossing the finish line. They're the one determining like who made it across the finish line. And that is a very funny message, but that's what I'm getting. There's a completion. They like understand that the race has been completed. The competition is over. And they're ready to declare a winner. All right, and then we have the Chariot. Oh my gosh, the race. I kept seeing this race here, and then this is like determining who won the race, so there may have been like trying to make a decision or competing. There may have been competing things here, and there's a clear winner, and they want to share that. And we have the Chariot, right? The Chariot always reminds me of like Ben-Hur and the chariot races and winning the chariot races. There's so much energy that's suddenly here and available to move something forward. This is like a race. A race has been won. It's been completed. We have a winner. They're going to communicate that. And then there's a lot of movement here. There's a lot of movement in this. There's huge amounts of energy. There's like no earth energy here. And this Leo, this could be you, right? Because we've got a fire. We've got so much fire here, and we've got the muse of inspiration. We've got this fire, very fiery situation. You're a fire sign. I feel like this muse of inspiration is you. I almost see this Knight of Emotions as having a mane too, as far as a Leo mane here. And then we have the Chariot. We have there's so much energy here. It's like, wow, this is a very energetic September, I guess, for you. There's like you're moving, you're on the move here. There's communication, there's movement. We're raring to go. We're ready and we're raring to go. There's a lot of movement and a lot of power and a lot of energy happening right here for you in September around your love. A lot of power. I mean, I can feel it coming off these cards here. It's intense, right? We've got all these horses. We've got mad horsepower here. We've got really, really directed energy. We've got this race being won, and a lot of energy here. And I think you might be deciding who won the race. There's just movement and communication. A lot of energy. And then we have the world cosmos. We have sort of the end of the cycle. I feel like this is the end of the race, the end of the circle, the cycle. It's the end of the race here. We've had this whole event, this whole race, this whole, in a way, competition, and it's coming to a close. This is the last major arcana. This is, we're right back where we started again, different, wiser, better. There's a completion here. Something's this part of the journey is over. I feel like the race is over. The race completes here, and the winner is being crowned. We're letting somebody know, that the race completes. Yeah. It's like there's a whole race throughout September, and by the end of it, it's like done. We're a year older. And there are things going on outside of our control, but there's a sense of completion. The contest is over. All right, Virgo, let's see what we have for you. Okay, I think this is how we're doing this. Okay, some of these cards. I love these cards. I always think when I do personal relationship readings, I always grab this deck. All right, Virgo, are you ready? Let's see. We have the Lovers here. So the Lovers, very romantic, but it is also very much about choices and decisions that need to be made. How are we going to live our lives? Are we going to go towards what's practical, what's reasonable, what's normal? Or are we going to go towards something that really brings us alive, but maybe is a little bit difficult, has some complicated issues with it, might be a little bit strange, or not strange, maybe strange, but it might be a little bit unconventional or different, out of the norm, unexpected. It's not quite what people are thinking and expected. So a choice. There's a choice for you to make here. And you might have a choice between lovers, or you might have a choice of what to do. So the Lovers is very much about, to me, it's about difficult choices. It's about decisions needing to be made, and decisions about how you're going to run your life. What kind of fuel are you going to put in your tank for life? How are you going to move yourself through life? Are you going to move yourself with the fuel of obligation, the accepted, the norm, or are you going to move yourself through life with moving towards what you love, or moving away from what you fear? If you fear other people's judgment, just making sure you're staying far enough away from that so that they don't hurt you, or they can't touch you. Or are you going to move towards something that's feeling good? So it's a decision on how you move through life and how you make your decisions. And so that's what the Lovers looks like to me. There's a lot of growth here as well. And there are feathers galore. Angels. It's like, are you going to move through the barren landscape because that's all you've ever known? Or are you going to move towards something more lush? Are you going to come to life? I mean, that's really like what living is. Are we coming to life? Are we approaching life? Are we going towards what brings us alive? Are we going to, trudge through the desert, doing what we're supposed to on the path? This isn't necessarily the most forbidden stuff. Like, it's like Romeo and Juliet. Like, there was nothing like morally wrong with their connection. It was just families didn't approve, wrong time, wrong, but we love that connection too, right? Because they did go for it. They did go for what they wanted, what they loved, what called to them, what drew them. And it ended in tragedy, but that's not necessarily the case. That's, moving towards life, and the families and may not approve and all of that, but moving towards that. That's why we love them. Okay, we have a lot of looking to the future here and a lot of difficulty in the present moment, though, for you in September. We have Night Ride. Not very clear on what you're supposed to do. Okay, you might have a choice, but I don't think you know necessarily how to make it. The elephant can't see in the dark and it's night. The owl can see much better than the elephant. So there is a sense of like being protected, being guided. You have maybe a guardian angel, or maybe someone that you can consult with that can help you make some of these more difficult decisions that you just can't see. You can't seem to see the future. You're looking at it, you're looking towards it in these other cards, but you're not quite sure how to go about something, how to get where you want to go. Maybe there's something is really calling you, but the thing that's holding you back is that you don't know how to get there. You're like, but okay, I guess I do want that, but I don't know how I go about getting that. So you may need to get a consultant, talk to someone about it. You do have guidance here. It could be spiritual guidance. It could be real world guidance. You have the perfect key. So you're very close to wanting to open up about something, and it's echoing this moon and back, right? We have these green birds here, which are talking about our heart chakras and messages from the heart. And we have the heart locked away here, probably for good reason. If you've been here for longer, if you've been here on this planet in this life for longer than 5 minutes, is a pretty good reason why you have this thing in a cage. So these two cards are actually very similar. This is those saying that you do have the ability to figure this out, right? You're confused, but you have the ability to figure out how to open up, how to talk about something, and you're ready. Your heart's very ready. Your heart's like, let's get going. I've got this plan, and then we've got backup plans, right? You're like, I don't know how to go about doing this. I don't know how to, I don't know what the next step is. And this is like, well, when you're ready, when you want to, you can start trying, and we've got backup options here. We've got one option. If this one doesn't work, we've got others. But you're ready to start opening up. You're ready to be more vulnerable again here and go for another trip here. You've got to the moon and back. So this is looking to the future, wanting to communicate something on your heart, but still staying in stasis and not quite ready to do that. You're dreaming of something, your intuition, you're relying on your intuition, and so far it's not telling you to go yet, but it is telling you to be ready. You are ready to go. You're looking to the future. You have something you want to communicate. You have a lot more you're going to hold back, though, once you do communicate. You do have something that you want to communicate, and it does feel like love and affection, and you want to open up. You're not sure how, but this perfect key is saying you can. And if the first option doesn't work, you got a couple more, and your heart's really ready to do this. You're holding back for now, but then we have abracadabra here. This card is about growth, being in some place totally different than you were before, having grown a lot, having learned a lot, having developed a lot. And abracadabra too talks to me about the magic words, the key, the perfect key to open something up, to make something, make a dream come true, make a wish come true. You're growing, you're learning, and if you aren't here by the end of September, you're very close to being here, to touching this star, to having this magic wand, to being able to say, to finding the magic words, finding the words to say what's on your heart, what you want to say, and being able to open up. It's taken a lot of growth here. We also have a beautiful little wedding dress here. So you've been very committed to this process. You've been very, as you've grown and as you've developed. So I feel like you've learned a lot, you're growing a lot, you want to reach out, you want to open up, and you're looking for those magic words. You might need to find some assistance because you're holding back right now. You're not quite ready. But when you are, this is saying when you are ready, when you feel like you can reach that star, when you do have that ability, it is going to make a whole new reality for you, and it's going to be very magical for you. All right, Virgo. I like that. You know, you're getting there. You're getting ready to. That card, that perfect key card, really says something about getting there and getting ready to do something, say something. So you're getting there. You may not feel like you have what it takes right now, but some experimentation and exploration is necessary. Okay, so then we have Libra. Libra, look at you, the Empress here. You're the Empress here. Abundance. You have some abundance. So I feel like this is like an underlying theme that you need to just stick with right now. You might be single, you might, and there's a lot of power in your singleness. There's a lot of power in your independence. Male or female, you're very independent right now. You're not really, you don't really need anybody else right now. You're really working on yourself, finding your own inner light. And we've got two of these. We've got two, so this could be, we've got the Hermit here. So this is interesting. We've got the Empress here, and we've got the Hermit here. This could be two different people that are separate. They're both single, they're both separate, and they're both finding their own power and their own light. This is more of a, this is having it, right? We've got the same light here. This is having it, you have this, and this is seeking it out, your own unique journey, your own unique path, and seeking out your own unique path. I feel like we've got a little bit of the Paul Coelho idea, and I feel like I'm also losing the idea that these were supposed to be love readings. So, but because we have these separate entities, we don't have people coming together. We have a lot of big players here, though. A lot of big major arcana that are showing up as actual people and not just processes. So we have the Hermit card. This is what I'm seeing. We have the Hermit card here, someone who's alone and trying to figure stuff out and find their own path and find their way through their unique path through some sort of maybe difficult time. This could be you or this could be somebody else. We have, I feel, another person here who has what they need, is fine with where they're at. They're not trying to figure out a bunch of stuff. They're light. They've already acquired that light. This person, the light is outside them and they're seeking it and they're finding their way to it. This person has something already within, and everything they need within. So it's actually reminding me of the Alchemist, where we go in search of something, finding our own path, following our own unique path. And what did we find? It was right where we started. It was the same place as we started here. We also have the Emperor here. And to me, this talks about who's in charge and who's in control of what's going on in the dynamic. So the way I'm seeing it is the Emperor sits between the Empress and the Hermit here. And this Emperor, this could be an Aries energy, this could be Virgo energy, and we've got Libra energy here. So we've got you right here. This other person's trying to find their own path, and there might actually be, I almost see this as some maybe divine conducting both of these separate paths to bring them together and sort of conducting these different musicians. I feel like there's also a sense of like who's in power, who's in control, who's setting the pace, right? Because we have a conductor here. So who's setting the pace and the rhythm for this connection. And so, but there is a sense to me of something being synced up, like an orchestra coming together and being synced up. And we are a little bit out of phase with each other, but there's a sense of it is coming together. One is in a seeking mode, one is in a having mode, a sustaining mode. And there is a sense of them being synced up, right? Where the Emperor, where the divine is helping the two players here come together in a harmonious way and in a rhythm, like jumping into this rhythm, jumping into this path here. So the Emperor also talks about control, who's in charge, who gets to set the pace. This Emperor does. So you might also be dealing with two different options, someone who has a lot of power and has a lot of control, and someone who's more of a seeker here, more looking for some sort of answer. We have 5 of inspiration. We have conflict here and nobody really willing to look it in the face and be very direct about it. So there's a lot of not being very direct, but conflicting. I feel like it goes in with this like Emperor or this divine energy here, trying to synchronize things, trying to get things together. So there is, Libra, you're going to be having some conflict. Nobody here is willing to admit mistakes in a way, or really take a moment for self-reflection. Everybody's got different motivations. Everybody's got different ideas of what wants to work out. So there might be conflict. There might also be some competition. So there's just a lot of different ways of seeing a situation, and nobody wants to see it through somebody else's eyes possibly, or there's just conflict and very different motivations at play and very different expectations at play. So this is why I think this Emperor is syncing this up, or almost would prefer to see a Temperance there, but that's how I feel about this Emperor in this deck. Then we have 9 of Voices. We have fears, anxieties. You might be afraid of conflict. You might be afraid of something. Somebody's worried. So apparently September is going to be a little anxious for you love-wise. There might be some competition, some disconnection though, is what I see with this one. Disconnection and fears. But because we have this Hermit off on their own little path, and we've got somebody else sort of already arrived and waiting for the latecomer here. And we've got this this divine orchestration of events. But in the meantime, we're feeling disconnected and experiencing quite a bit of anxiety, fears. Everything's fine, but we're fine in reality. We have everything we need. But there is anxiety and conflict going on, possibly inner conflict on your part. So Libra, that's your September in love. Things coming together, but I don't see them as coming together in September, but there is some sort of There's development, but there's also fear. What are we gonna... All right, Scorpio. Ooh, this is my favorite card in a love reading. We're just going to go straight to it. My dear friend. This is someone that's been with you for a long time. This is a connection that's been with you for a very long time. Maybe not physically in the physical world, but right, there's a sense of ungroundedness with this connection. But there is a sense where it's mind of my mind. We've grown up together. So this card, my dear friend, has a companion card earlier in the deck, which is called the Journey, and it's when this this girl and this baby deer meet together at a party. It's like a gift or something, and they know that it's a connection that's going to last a long time. So this could just be a friendship that we're talking about here, or this could be some sort of very long-term relationship, someone that's been in and out of your life possibly, but you think the same, you vibe the same. We also have 2 wands or inspiration cards, so that's what makes me feel like this vibe is very much you vibe with this person. Whether you have been able to work out the practicalities, I'm not sure, but there's definitely someone that's been in your life for a while that's a vibe. Definitely. Such a funny term for tarot, because we're taking what works, leaving what doesn't, so definitely doesn't have much of a place here. Also with these, I always want to encourage people to, your intuition trumps tarot. Tarot can help you get in touch with your intuition, help you connect with something more, but in the end, it should take precedence over, especially in general reading like this. So we have Page of Inspiration. So here we have one of our players, one of our key cast members. Page of Inspiration. This is someone who's, so the page is going to be a rookie. They're going to be new. They're going to be very creative. They're going to be very intuitive, creative, emotional, this might actually be someone coming up out of the blue, someone being very surprised by something. Maybe you feel like you've been connected for a really long time and this person's like, wait, what? But this person's very surprised by something. Something seems to come out of the blue, but it's not actually. They've been connected to it for a long time, and there's a sense of intuition here. There's a sense of messages, spirituality, possibly. This could be, like someone who's very new to your belief. Maybe you've been, because there's this old and there's this new thing. So there's a new person, but they might be joining some sort of old connection. So normally I would say in anything that's not a love reading, that this could be something that's been with you for a very long time. I usually think of it as a friend or something, but they could be introducing you, an old friend could be introducing you to somebody very new, because the page has this hint of the new. New person could be a younger person. And there's something having to do with spirituality, creativity, intuition here. And something very surprising. It's like someone wasn't expected. An unexpected newness, an unexpected new person. It's very unexpected and surprising, as inspiration and intuition often is. Person, male or female. Not where you expect them to be. Something very unexpected happens with this person. We also have 9 of Inspiration. So this is really interesting. There's a lot of tension between something new and something old. 9 of Inspiration is a long, long journey, and we're tired and we're sick of it. It's the wounded warrior. I thought I crossed the finish line, but apparently I have to keep going. This is ridiculous. I just went through these mountains and now I have to go through a desert. I thought I crossed a threshold. I thought we were done. I thought this was over, and it's just not. You're tired of it. There's a sense of being tired of it. Being ready to kind of move on. But I feel like both of these are you in this flowy orange dress on both of these. This is a long journey that you've been on with somebody. They're your dear friend. You're very connected to them. You've almost grown into each other. You're almost ingrown with each other. And there's also at the same time some exhaustion. Both of these speak to a very long journey, a very long journey that you had expected to be over by now, possibly. And then this talks about something very new coming in here. And there's going to be a lot of energy with this one, right? We're in the middle of the desert here. And then in the middle of this desert, we find this new person, or this person that's bringing, and so it could just be something that inspires you to keep going. It could be some sort of artwork, some sort of music, or something that you haven't heard before or seen before, that, or a book or something. It's new and there's a lot of curiosity about it, and it might inspire you to keep going here. Because the Nine of Inspiration is not feeling inspired at all anymore. And then here comes this person. It could be seeing somebody else fall in love, seeing somebody, and that renewing your commitment. Because you've been committed on this long journey for a while now. It's outlasted anything you thought. And then there's something very surprising coming in. There's a surprising new person. Maybe this is like, you thought the relationship was about over, and then whoops, somebody's pregnant. There's a surprising new person coming in here to something that's kind of old and worn out. So, all right, Scorpio, that was fascinating. Interesting message there. All right, Sagittarius, let's see what we've got for September in love for Sagittarius. That's too many. We can't do that, you know that. I mean, we technically can, but I don't want to, is a more empowering way of saying that. One more card? Oh my gosh. It's like, no, that's all the cards we're going to get, you guys. It's either all or two is what I'm getting here. Every card or none of them. All right, Sagittarius. Okay, we got it. Kind of a mess here. Okay, what do we have for Sagittarius? Okay, so we do have a playing card, or not a playing card, but a court card. This is a queen. This is not, we've had rookies so far. Well, some other things too, but we have our first queen, male or female, queen of inspiration. This is a person here who is creative, intuitive, a little bit magical, a little bit otherworldly. They're very connected to their destiny. And queens, male or female, they're internally focused. They're focused on their journey, and this person's just really focused on their own energy work, on their own, yeah, they could be really into meditation. They're very focused on their own energy. They like to remain untamed and a little bit mysterious. They're a little bit mysterious and inscrutable. There's a maturity to them. It's not necessarily a immature. There's a maturity to them. They're not necessarily a leader, but they are doing their own thing. They're very independent. Spiritual, doing their own spiritual work and on their own spiritual path. A little bit mysterious and untamed. I really like how this queen is coming out here. I like this person. They know how to stay in their lane. They're paying attention to their own energy, their own spiritual path. They're not oversharing on social media. They keep some things to themselves. They just like to feel their way and intuit their way through the world, through the mysteries. All right. I like this. I love this. Queen of Inspiration is very lovely. And then we have this, and it could be male or female, right? And we have Ace of Voices. So some sort of epiphany, new communication coming in. Don't necessarily see a big relationship. I mean, it could be a relationship, some sort of new communication that you might have with this person, or a new communication coming from you. It comes out of the blue. It comes out of nowhere. It's very unexpected. You have your back turned to it. Very unexpected, but very focused. There's a very focused communication coming in here. It brings in a lot of clarity, a lot of understanding. It comes out of the blue. We haven't been in conversation for a long time, if ever. It's just maybe someone strikes up a conversation with you and they actually turn out to be really amazing and really interesting, and you learn a lot. There's a lot of insight here, a lot of clarity that comes in. It just comes in so clearly here. And we have these mysterious pyramids in both of them. right? And neither one of them are looking. This could be a collision course of two people that aren't really looking but are coming towards each other. One with communication, one's just vibing with their own good selves here. And there's a sense of communication. This one also has prayer flags and so some spiritualities, maybe some spiritual messages there too. Maybe some hopes attached to this communication. It really kind of just comes out of the blue. Nobody sees it's coming. Everybody's just off doing their own thing, and then suddenly there's like a very clear communication that comes in. A little startling, maybe. There's something desired here. Somebody's very clear on what they're pursuing. So it feels like somebody has their eye on the prize and sees what they're going for, and somebody else is very much oblivious and just off doing their own thing, and it comes out of the blue for them. All right, Capricorn, what do you guys have in love in September? Love in September. Capricorn, my goodness. Okay. Oh my goodness, we've got two people involved, two players here. You know, two of our sort of baseball cards is what I'm thinking of these. Queen of Materials and Queen of Emotions. So again, queens are male or female. That gender doesn't matter, or non-gendered or anything. It doesn't matter. So it's just talking about people with people that are internally focused. They're not necessarily leaders, but they are just focused on their own path, on what they want next, on where they want to go next, and what they think, what they feel. So we have Queen of Emotions. We have someone here with a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions right under the surface. They may be withholding them. They may not be communicating them for a good reason sometimes, right? So because love is such a iffy thing sometimes, risky thing. So they've got a lot of emotions under the surface. They're keeping them down there. This isn't necessarily great emotions, right? Because the water is water. Sometimes it's peaceful. Sometimes it's, you know, a frenzy. So it doesn't necessarily mean, when I talk about emotions, usually I'm not talking about, you know, just love emotions and love offerings, but there's someone here with a lot of depth of feeling, and they're maybe aren't sharing it. They might not be ready to share it. They're kind of just in their feelings right now and trying to figure out how they feel and what they think. It's complex. There's a lot going on there under the surface. And then we have Queen of Materials. We have someone who's focused on their career, on their dreams, on what they want next, what they want to have next. They're getting a lot of clarity on career goals and aspirations, and that's what's going on with this other queen. They're not necessarily in a leadership role either. They're just very focused on trying to figure out what to do next. They could be very focused on this could be the same queen, focused on how to bring their emotions into reality. This could be focused on someone's trying to figure out like how to create their reality, how to make something happen, how to make it real, and it could be the same thing. How do I make these feelings real? How do I make them come to life? Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same person. And it could be you, it could be somebody else, just looking at, they're sorting through their feelings and trying to figure out how to make it happen. What do they want? What do they want from you? Yeah, how to make something happen in reality. How to bring those emotions from some sort of ethereal realm and make them more solid, solidify something. We have also for you, dear Capricorn, 5 of Voices, difficult choices. There's actually, this olive branch isn't actually reachable. There might be an olive branch being offered, but nobody knows how to get there from here. So this could be two queens, one more practical, one more emotional, and they can't see eye to eye. Two people, they're both kind of in their own little world. They're both kind of in their own little vibe here. They don't see eye to eye. Yeah, they don't see eye to eye, and they don't know how. They don't know how to reconcile. They don't know how to get there. There's not like a good win-win compromise between these two people. So difficult choices have to be made. Very difficult choices have to be made. And you may not be able to see very clearly. Right, it's hard to see underwater. So you may not be able to see very clearly what needs to be done, what choices need to be made, what's the best choice. It's just like you're just gonna have to, go within, meditate, make the best choice you can. Sacrifices might need to be made. Compromises might need to be made. There's not a win-win outcome available. It's almost like a lose-lose. Nobody here is going to be happy with the outcome, but we have to move forward. So it's not going to be like everybody gets what they want. We have the Moon card. So things being revealed, subconscious issues at play here, maybe issues of security. Maybe this Queen of Materials wants security, wants certainty, and this Queen of Emotions can't provide it because they're more of a flow person, and there's not really a great way to compromise between the two. We're going to have to pick one. So, but we also have this Moon phases of things being revealed and things being withheld. I feel like this relates more to this Queen of Emotions of a lot that they haven't revealed, a lot that they haven't shown yet. And they might be revealing those things, how they feel. And then we have the Hierophant. I feel like the Hierophant is dealing with this Queen of Materials, more traditional path, more traditional expectations. These traditions are rooted in an ancient wisdom. But this could also be an institution. This could be the institution of marriage, where one party is really looking to the future. Where is this going? Where are we headed? Are we headed to marriage? Are we headed to this institution? And this other person is like, I don't do marriage. I don't know what the point of it is. I really need to be able to flow with my emotions, with my feelings. And there's not a great compromise between the two. So that's your lovely September in love there, Capricorn. And now we will move on to Aquarius. All right, Aquarius, what's your September in love looking like? Uh-oh. Some obsession here. What do we got? One more for Aquarius? Okay. Oh, we've seen these puppies before, different things. So we have the Devil card, obsessions, things that are easy to get into but difficult to get out of. This could be commitments. This could be marriages. Somebody's not a free agent here. So this could be somebody is married and that's not they're not really free to go here. But this could also be an obsession. This could be someone who has alcohol issues. It's just something that doesn't allow someone to move freely with their divine intuition. It's something that has someone tied down. It could be ego issues. It could be issues of self-definition, but they don't have freedom to flow freely with how they feel. So obsession is often that way. It starts off with feeling like we're freely flowing. Oh, I like this. Oh, this is fun. And then after a while, it's like, I cannot think about anything else. I need to go think about something else, and I cannot. So it's always the devil. There's some temptation there. There's an acceptance of temptation. There's a bit of a deal with the devil. Something feels good, it seems good, but there's not, once you get there, there's no freedom. So then we have 7 of emotions. Emotional overwhelm. Being emotionally overwhelmed, there might be a lot of decisions and choices to make. It's a matter of the heart, but the head is getting involved and trying to be very logical about something that's not really about logic. Picking your favorite goldfish isn't necessarily about logic. It's about feeling. It's about what you want, how you feel, which one resonates with you. But there's something here in the 7 of emotions where we're thinking really hard about our choices and our decisions. So maybe you made a choice in the past, and now if in September, now you're really starting to think about like, is that really what's going to make me happy? I'm not sure that's actually what's going to make me happy. There might be something else here that makes me happier. I'm not sure. So there's something you like have some sort of commitment, but you're sort of maybe being tempted by something else, looking into something else. Maybe something else seems like it would make you a lot happier than this devil here, right? Could there be something that could make you happier than the devil? Probably, but it's trying to figure that out, like trying to think your way through your emotions and your feelings. And then we have Muse of Inspiration. We have a court card. We have a person here. This person might have some leadership, maybe a leader in a creative field. There's somebody here, and this could be you, that is making decisions, making choices and decisions. It could be somebody else. It could be somebody that you meet who's in a creative field or very intuitive, leadership position. Yeah, in connection with their intuition, maybe someone who's revealing their intuition. They've mastered a certain level of creativity and understand their own sexuality enough now to really be able to talk about it openly and reveal about that and discuss it. This is someone that could feel like you're divinely connected to them, like your path was leading them to them, you're leading you together this whole time. You could really feel very connected to this person. And maybe you meet someone that you feel very connected to, but you're actually married, so you can't do anything about it. Or maybe you're very connected and one of you's already like taken or already in a commitment. There's not actually a lot to be decided here, perhaps. But this person that you connect with on such an intuitive and energetic level may not be available, or may have some issues you don't really know about. You may have to make some I don't see you really making decisions. I see you just being kind of confused as to what's going on. If you're confused, it's a possibility that they're already committed to somebody else. But you have such a strong connection, but they're committed to somebody else. So there could be some confusion here for you, Aquarius, in this process, in this connection for September. It's like, well, why aren't you free? Well, but we're so connected. How come you're not coming towards me? That's where the confusion is like, why wouldn't you come towards me if we're so connected? It's because they're not free. Either for some reason, maybe they are dealing with addiction issues and they just don't feel like they're available right now, even though you do see eye to eye, even though there is such a strong energetic connection. This could be creating quite a bit of confusion. Oh my goodness. Who got that? Was that? Somebody got the companion card to this one earlier. Who was? I wish I could remember who it was, because maybe you're connected. Is it Sagittarius? Scorpio? Possibly. Okay. Maybe this is a work relationship for you. But either way, we have the journey here. This is the companion card of the companion card. So this has a companion card later on where these two have been together for a long time and grown up together and think the same and vibe the same, except for maybe they are not together every step of the way. But this is meeting something. So in September for you, Pisces, you could be meeting somebody that that is really important to you in the future, through work possibly, is what I'm seeing. You could be someone with a strong connection that you're going to either be working with for a long time, or this is the beginning of a long prosperous love affair. So, and it looks like with all these materials here, it looks like something's coming in through work. There's a work connection here possible. But it's like, I don't want to say it's love at first sight, but there is some sort of connection that gets established right away, that we are similar, we are meant to be together. So I don't necessarily want to say that this is a love connection. This could be a friendship. This could be something But it is long term, and it does start, you're just meeting this person now. Transformation. You've changed. You might be looking back on who you used to be, and you're very different now. So maybe a work relationship is transforming, is changing, and there's some sort of recognition that this is changing and this is moving in a different direction now. But there is a sense of, or maybe you're looking back on a connection you had a long time ago, and you've changed a lot, and you're not quite sure like what you saw in this person or something like that, because you've changed. There's been some sort of transformation here. And you may be looking back at an earlier connection from your changed self, realizing that you've changed somehow since you first met this person, is another possible reading I'm getting. And then we have these two. We have two of materials. We have maybe you're trying to pick between two people. Maybe you're trying to make some decisions here. You've got a lot on your plate, and you're juggling possibly two relationships or a lot of work responsibilities. But there's a duality here. There's two of something that you're trying to juggle. And this is and you're straining to keep it all going. You're straining to keep these all moving. It's very difficult, actually. You're in a precarious position right now, balancing a lot of different needs, a lot of different necessities, a lot of different possibly expectations. It's a very precarious position. You don't feel very solid right now. There's just too much. It's like you already had something, and now something new comes in, and it's a lot to deal with. So there's something here that's a little bit, it's throwing you off your balance, and you're struggling to maintain equilibrium and balance in this situation in September. Three of materials. This is teamwork. So maybe you reach out and assemble a team. This can be lawyers, therapists, doctors, matchmakers, and this can also be work, right? With these two here, this can be work related. Part of a team. This could be someone you're meeting that's part of a team, and you're not quite sure how to integrate them into your life. But there is a sense of, or this could be someone you work with, and the situation's changing and transforming, and you're struggling to handle some sort of change and some sort of shift. You're struggling to handle that. There is a long-term connection, and there could be some work-related things going on here. So, all right, Pisces, I hope that was helpful for you. I hope that was helpful for all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in to this messy little reading here, but it was fun, and I hope it's helpful.